So background, what is Klondike Derby? Klondike Derby is a traditional Boy Scout-wide winter campout that involves scouts constructing a sled that they use to carry scout equipment, camping equipment, so that they can do a competition with other scouts on scout skills. And Troop 39's never been to a district event of any type, and so the Klondike Derby on the 26th and 27th of February in 2016 was their first attempt to do this. So about 2 weeks before the camp out, we got together and decided we had to come up with a sled. First problem is, we're looking at the weather forecast, and there's nothing but 60, 70 degree days forecasted.
Because there's probably not going to be any snow.
So we had to figure out a way that we could still incorporate the skis, but we needed an all-terrain vehicle that could go in mud, something other than snow.
So basically, we just need wheels added.
We came up with some good ideas for that. My brother came up with a good idea. Caleb didn't have any good ideas, actually.
I have an idea now, though.
It's over maybe next year.
Okay.
So why don't we do a quick Google search for what other scout troops have come up with for wheeled Klondikes. I've done some of these before, and I've never seen a scout troop construct a sled in one day. So when we were 2 weeks out, I was a little concerned. And lo and behold, the scouts in Troop 39 went from literally sitting in a classroom to building the sled all in one day. I was floored. I was amazed.
So we got there, and there was 10 of us scouts, and then there was still more Weeblos coming. There were so many of us, the counselor said, okay, make a line right here, now split. So we all had to split, and it was kind of hard for us to work together because one group had the wagon or our sled, the other group didn't have anything. So they had to run to us, steal stuff that we needed. We had to use whatever we had in the cart, which was really hard. It was really difficult for us to work together.
Hey, 39, are you ready?
Yes!
Okay, going on first, let's go.
All the troops started to split into their 6 stations, and our first one was a knot tying relay, where each scout had to tie a knot and then come back with the counselor approving the knot. And then the next person would go, and then when we were all done, he'd tell us our score.
So yeah, after that was lashings. We had to lash together a tripod, and we had to put our flag on it. We ended up making a 30-foot tall flagpole with our flag on it that towered above the whole camp. Everybody saw it.
After we finished up lashings, that kind of sent us into our 3rd station, which was an orienteering course. So we had to have a compass for that. We had to find our bearing.
It's one pole to the next. Each pole is basically a fence post with a little red flag at the top. You have to get that little red flag in the sight.
When we had to walk to the next point, we had to count our paces.
You look at the pole with the sight on it, and then you look down at the number, and that number is your forward azimuth.
Then we had to find out lots of other stuff using math.
If it's greater than 180, then you subtract 180. If it's less than 180, you add 180. It's as simple as that.
Then we could start doing that again to the next point.
You don't need to use true directions. It's all magnetic.
And it took a really long time. It took us up from after we finished lashings all the way to lunchtime.
So after lunch, we went to the first aid rotation, where we had to treat a victim that was showing signs of hypothermia, had a broken arm, and was externally bleeding. He was not encouraging. He did not appreciate our help. I mean, for a guy that needed our help or he was gonna die, he sure did not want our help. Like, he didn't.
Oh God, it hurts! It hurts so bad!
It's okay.
Don't you love my victim?
Yeah, that's really how that one went.
Our next event, we had to build a wilderness survival shelter out of any materials we had brought with us and any materials we found around the vicinity. What we did is we built our shelter, put pine needle walls on it, and we all had to fit inside so we could get the points. And we had to finish it in 15 minutes or less.
And then our next rotation was the build a fire and cook with it. What they had us do was they gave us 20 minutes and we had to cook an egg. So we got our egg, we got our pan, we had everything. We made a fire in less than 5 minutes and we finished cooking the egg in less than 10 minutes.
It was
really fast. Our group was actually the fastest of the whole camp. We got 9 minutes and 30 seconds, which was really cool to have that experience. So after all the events were over, it was time for the big race.
Go, guys, go!
Yeah, it was a relay, so they had scouts on one end of the road that we were pushing on, scouts on the other end. We got to the relay point, handed off.
Keep going, guys!
So at the end of the Klondike, after the sled races were done, we got roughly 5th or 6th. And then a couple days later, we are at our scout meeting as always. And at the end, our scoutmaster gives us a debriefing about the Klondike for the kids who weren't able to make it.
The Klondike event was really fun. We had a blast there, and even though we were throwing 2 curveballs that we had to handle, we worked effectively and we got those 2 done. There was no snow to use, and we had to split up into 2 groups, which made it difficult at times, but we reacted to that and we still managed to work effectively and get the job done. Hi everybody, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, press the subscribe button right here so you can keep watching us and keep up with our videos. See you later.